Hi guys, it's about 10:56 Eastern, 9:56 Central. I'm Stephen Boyle. Well, here's what's going on across the country. There's a lot of rain out there, particularly across the eastern portions of the country. This whole region is essentially being affected by rain this evening. It's spotty, and it's only in some some locations are really getting it, some locations really aren't, and will really get it tomorrow. Generally, hot and dry in the west, and cooler, maybe not necessarily cooler, but more moist and wet out in the east, and eventually will become cooler. So that's what's going on. Let's take a check on the radar imagery here, and this is all that rain that I'm talking about right now. Look at all this rain. Portions of northern New England seeing some rain this evening, some showers and thunderstorms. There have been some severe thunderstorm warnings out there. Also a big, huge band of rain that is going to be eventually coming into our region. And looking back down into, let's move this way here. Look at all this rain, okay? Lately there have been, over the past several hours, there have been a few tornado warnings that have been posted with this band of showers and thunderstorms. Absolutely heavy rain, nasty lightning, and of course it's just really nasty out there. More rain and thunderstorms down into portions of North Carolina and South Carolina. So that is all what's going on around here in New England, or actually across the whole country. And if you look out west, there are a few little spots of rain here and there, but there's not a big, huge outbreak. I mean, there have been some pop-up thunderstorms into portions of Nevada and California, but and they have been prompting some flash flood warnings, but it's only in very localized regions, not a big swath like what we're seeing out east. Holy Toledo. Actually, I'll show you with the full resolution version. I mean, look at all this rain, and this is all associated with a low pressure system centered right about here. And all of this rain that's coming out from it is going to affect essentially all of the Northeast. And even this little batch up here is affected, or is coming in from this low pressure system. But essentially all of this, it's all moving in this general direction. So you can essentially say the Northeast and New England will eventually be getting in on this action. So that's what's going on. Let's zoom on in here into southern New England. There is some special weather statements out there. Hazardous weather outlook. Let's start off with the hazardous weather outlook. This is for the fact that there could be some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon into Saturday, and they may contain very heavy downpours with the potential for localized flooding. Some thunderstorms may also contain on Saturday may contain some strong wind gusts. Also a special weather statement for portions of Belknap County and Strafford County until 11, and Merrimack County. Strong thunderstorm, northeast, moving northeast at about 15 miles an hour. Strong thunderstorm, heavy rain, hail up to 3/4 of an inch, heavy downpours, and excessive cloud-to-ground lightning. Gusty winds 35 to 45 miles per hour. So that's what's going on. And essentially, if we move a little bit more to the east, you can see the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for portions of New York. This storm is moving east at 25 miles per hour. Winds 60 miles an hour. Quarter-sized hail. You know, your normal stuff. And we do have an air quality alert out there because of some pollution that has been, going on. But it's not a big concern, the air quality alert. Alright, let's take a check on the models here. So this is what's going on. We do have our good old NAM model here, and this is generally showing us that there will be some rain. They'll be moving through New England. Some of the rains could be pretty heavy at times, and this rain should last really through Saturday evening. And there is this little low pressure system that it does look a little interesting, but it doesn't look like it will form into much. But it may scrape some of New England with a little bit more rain. Here's a Canadian model, and if we move this through time here, you can sort of see there's that low pressure system. Look at this area of heavy rain. I mean, this is really interesting. The Canadian model has really been putting out that we would New England could get some pretty interesting rain amounts, and this is what the Canadian is saying. Really, the center of rain is from southeastern Mass through southern Worcester County through eastern Connecticut and the rest of Rhode Island, all of Rhode Island practically, under this batch of heavy rain. But essentially all of southern New England and all of Massachusetts under this really intense rain. And this is associated with a single low pressure system. So this moves out eventually, and we could see yet again another area of rains from this line of thunderstorms that could be moving through. And as time moves along, here is that low pressure system that I said could scrape the Cape and the islands and southeastern Massachusetts. Some localized regions could pick up over 1.5 inches of rain, particularly closer to P-Town, if anything. And that would move through portions of Maine and then eventually into Nova Scotia. Then you have there's another little area of low pressure. And if you barely look down here, it's barely anything. This is the starting fringes on the Canadian model of what will be Gordon eventually. So that's essentially what's going on, and there's another little low pressure system, here. So it looks like a lot of rain chances over the next week, I would say. Here's a GFS model, and as time moves along, you can see some rain, at times some heavy, and overall, I think we can generally say a trough in the east, and that trough will be sticking around for quite some time. And really look at this. I mean, this is absolutely interesting here, particularly at this time right here on Saturday, the 18th, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Look at this. I mean, the amplitude of this is really intense. I mean, the trough is intense and the ridge is intense. I mean, this is really very, very, this is really what you want to see when it comes in terms of, a lot of rain and cooler weather here. And I really don't see this pattern really moving out anytime soon. So there could be some rain that could be affecting some regions over the course of the next several days. There could be this rain area of low pressure. Depending upon the amplitude of the trough and the way that the jet stream is moving, we could see this thing move up the coast. I know it seems like we're starting to already talk about nor'easters here. Again, it really depends upon where this how the trough wants to set itself out. If the trough sets itself out like this, then the storm would move like that. If the amplitude of the trough is more like this, then we would probably see this storm coming along like this, and we would have a shot at some rain, and heavy at that, in New England. But this is still far, far out, and it's one little area of low pressure, so we're not going to worry about it. But I think we can generally say over the next 15 days, we have a very good shot at seeing some rain, and some of it being heavy at times here in New England. Also cooler weather. So that's what's going on across the country here when it comes in terms of the models. And of course, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care, everyone.